Guys, there's Bear. What's up, Bear? You inspecting? Well, must not have found anything. There's Marley. Max is under the car. It's supposed to start raining here in a little bit. Rain all weekend. That ought to be interesting. Oh, I got to run a grinder across that all, knock it all down. Funny thing is I said the pans needed to go forward just a little bit, and so I took a burr bit and just widened the front of the hole a little bit. But when I freaking welded it together, they ended up a little bit further ahead than when they were sitting in there. I don't know how or why, but it'll be interesting to see. Maybe I didn't have to do that. So, it's Friday. I'm trying to get motivated and figure out what to do tonight. I got that all OSPO'd. That way I don't have to worry about rust starting as I'm building it. Start building up underneath the frickin' seam sealer. That seam sealer frickin' set up nice. That's some tough stuff. Anyways, Lisa wanted to go bury Dad's plant or bush or whatever she got. It's supposed to start raining and rain for the next 2 days. So, but she went in the house and disappeared, so I'm not sure what she's doing. So we'll see when I get back what I decided to work on. So yeah. I don't know. For a beat up old frickin' beetle that shouldn't have been saved, I don't think it's turning out too bad. Anyways, I'll talk to you guys in a little bit. Alrighty, guys. I don't know if the jack... Oh, the jack point is still in this floor pan. I have that jack point. I need to figure out this battery catch, because that's not in the floor pan. These tracks came with the floor pan. And it's a nice thing that I still have this together, because I can see how it was originally, and I should be able to measure off these seams to get it where it's supposed to be. Oh, and the pedestal was still in this side. There's the pedestal I gotta get. So I didn't remember they were welded to the sides. So I'm gonna have to figure out how to do that with that seam sealer in there. So yeah. This is what I need yet. They have one in stock. The right side's in stock. The left side's on back order. So, I'm glad this side was in good enough shape. But yeah. I don't know. See if they make that, or if I have to make one. At least I know where it's supposed to go. Because it was this lip for the battery, there's the bolt for the battery. It sat in there. So I gotta do that yet. But I do have the C-tracks. The rear ones. There's no saving the pedestal on either side. So. Okay, guys. The notch goes towards the front on the tracks. This side's in good enough shape to figure out what's going on. It basically sits, this is a bolt. This is a piece of heater tunnel. So there's a dent in the floor pan for that to sit right into that spot. Looks like I ran a 1-inch piece of weld there. I'll have to dig at this a little bit. So it looks like they ran a weld here, here, and here. Then I'll have to try and figure out how they welded it up here because some of the seal's still on here. This side is not much left of it. At least those tracks came in a bag together. So what I figured out is there's a dip in the floor right here. I don't know if you can see it. The end kind of flares down. It kind of looks like this is over, but that's because it's cut. Ah! So, we'll look at the ones in the new ones. Okay, guys. At least they come as a match set. Those two were in their own bag. These were in their own bag. Looking at that, it's pretty obvious. Notch goes forward, and it sits in this little dimple and this little dimple. Kind of cool. The other side I didn't have a whole lot to go off of. But the one side had this bump down, which I thought would be towards the front. And this side's flat. But when I got to looking at it, there's a drop right here. Where that drop down pretty much locks into that. And on the original, it was dropped down right at that body crease. And this side's flat. If you turned it around, then she's up in the air. Not really sure what this hole is for. It's too bad I don't have more of the track left. I've turned it apart. But I'll do a little more research, but I'm pretty sure that's exactly how it's supposed to go. And I'll do some more digging on that old pan, see exactly where this is all welded in. Looked like they had 3 like 1-inch strips of weld along there, and I couldn't tell quite yet if they had anything up here. So yeah, I'll keep digging in and I'll let you guys know. Okay, trying to figure out the best way to measure this, because there isn't a whole lot left of it. Looks a little tweaked, but it was never hit on this side of the car. And there's a lot of weld left. I'm thinking that this edge here is heater tunnel, so that's what's making it look tweaked. Because it looks like it's straight. And looks like the lip comes up about here. So that's heater tunnel. Looks like they got spot welds going in. So they welded the edges. They spot welded to the bottom of the heater tunnel. And they welded it to the outside of the heater tunnel. So they welded the shit out of this. So it looks like spot welds. Right there, there. So, I don't know if I can do this one-handed. So if I run my square on the outside of the pan, you can see there's kind of a bend over lip. Right in there. And that's running down the pan, and then the pan changes. So if you get that close, I'm having trouble. Give me a second, guys. Okay. So that's right where the tape measure wants to be. And the hole is, I'm going to call that 4 inches. So center of that hole to the center of that is 4 inches back. Because like I said, there's not a whole lot left here. At least it's good and solid. But there's not a whole lot there to reference off. But I was going off of this where it's all meets together. So we'll go back in the tent and see what a brand new piece looks like. Alright. Both of the pedestals look exactly the same. I don't know where all that spot weld came in because it's not connected across the top. If you go 4 inches from the center of the hole, whoop, shit. And then that'd be 4 inches right to that seam. So yeah. Whoop, shit. So that's where it's supposed to go. And they had it welded up, and this is all welded underneath. That's welded to the pan. That's welded to the pan. This is welded to the tunnel. And that's where that's supposed to sit. It's kind of cool. It kind of locks into place. So I'm going to say center of that jack point to the center of that hole is 4 inches. That's where she's getting put. That's the best I can figure off them pans. And this is easy to figure out because you know exactly where, because of the notch. And this pretty much, I'll have to put a square, but it pretty much ends up with that line. And that hump is right there. So I'm going to say that goes right right next to that line too. Anyways, whole lot of figuring, not a whole lot of working. I still got to figure out if I can get that angle for the battery or if I have to make it. I mean, over $100 is free shipping with CPI 1. So if that piece is available and it's cheap, like I said, when you buy these super nice freaking pans, you get the rear tracks with them, you get the jack point with it, you actually get this rear piece that comes down with it, but you don't get the pedestal. And they have that right pedestal in stock. So left one is on back order. So I'm going to dig into it and see. Like I said, that's $66. So I'll see if and they have my email, and I did the whole let me know when it's available. But with the tariffs coming in, I might just freaking order that. I have a pan gasket coming down in, but if they have that battery angle, and I'll have to see if they have a rubber kit, because there's like rubbers that go in where the brake line comes through and out. There's all sorts of rubber that's in here. Maybe they have a body rubber kit. I'll try and figure out if I can get something that'll put me over $100. That way I can at least get this one. And I'll worry about that one later, I guess. Alrighty, guys. I spent enough of your time. I'll talk to you guys.